Greetings and welcome to the Northman. This episode is about a Norwegian game, so of course it takes a Norwegian to tell about a Norwegian game. Not really, but this time you have the pleasure. Yeah, I am full of myself. Anyway, this game is designed by designer Christian Amundsen Østby and Eilif Svensson. Now, these characters or persons have a history together. But let's start with Christian. He had a very early career in 2004 with the Mutiny of Little Blue. Now that game has some mixed receptions among the board gamers, but he had many other games that were published through various publishers, like Hochspiel in Germany, White Goblin Games in Netherlands, and Gyldendal and Egmont in Scandinavia, and Venner Forlag as well. But also Queen Games, which he came with his most known game, Escape the Curse of the Temple. This is a cooperative game where you play as a team, where all players win or lose together as a group. And this is a hectic game, very original for its time, and many have tried to copy the idea from that on. But the game is extremely fun, and you can check out the description below for the review. And Escape came out in 2012. Now, in 2014, something happened. Christian started the company Aporta Games, and together with Eilif Svensson, they came out with their first debut game for that company, Doodle City. And Doodle City was well received. It's a simple roll and write game. It works very well, and I like that a lot. But already in 2015, the next year, Christian came out with the game Automania. Now this game is a real special game because you are producing cars, and you can produce a car in the very first turn of the game. But we skip ahead to 2016, where he again, with Eilif Svensson, designed two games, Capital Lux and Avenue. Now, Eilif Svensson, he has also a game up his sleeve. In 2014, he published a game called Mangrovia, and that is a very nice Euro-ish game for families. It's a real nice game with bright colors and easy to understand rules, and I really like that as well. And I think I have a review of it in English, so check out the link below if you see it. But Avenue was very well received. It was a further take on Doodle City, but you just removed the dice and you added cards instead. And you can play with as many people as possible, actually. You can play with 1,000 people as long as they are able to see the cards that are available. And that is quite an astonishing feat. But then we are in 2017, last year. Again, with Eilif Svensson, he came out with Santa Maria. And this is the game I'm going to talk about today. But Christian also came out with Destination X with another designer. But today is Santa Maria, a game that has a bit of controversy around its theme. So I'm going to touch that a little bit, but not too much. But let's just skip ahead and see you on the other side. And we're back. And this is how the game looks when it's set up. Well, not exactly. We have to do the setup first. But for 4 players, this is how the game will take space on the table. And you can also add some additional ships on the sides here. So maybe just slide this here and you should be just fine. So it does take some space. Also you have these containers here, which isn't in the game, but I have them. And they function very nicely to separate the components here. So let's just set up the game and let's get started. Each player starts with their own boards like this. And you see there's an A here. So you can choose A or B as a group. Now the first game you should go with A. And for future games, B, and never go back. But for this time, we just go with A. It's identical for each players. You choose a star player, and you get money based on your position. So here, the 4th player gets 6 money. Then, all players gets 2 lumber. Each player also gets their blue dice, and roll it, and just place it where it lands, like 2. Each player gets 6 monk pieces in their own color. They also get 3 of these markers, which is put on the main board. These red ships are the starting ships, and just choose randomly, and you flip them over, like this. On the top here, you have 3 randomly chosen monks on these spaces, and here on these 3 randomly chosen bishops. Then we roll 3 white dice per player, and just group them together and place them under the main board. And then we flip over these tiles here, 5 of those. Oops. and 5 of these. These here are point markers, and it's beneficial to sort them out before starting the game. Now this game has a theme that has brought a bit of a controversy on the internet, especially on the Board Game Geek forums. Now, you are colonists and you have come to the great new world, and you start to exploit the natives there and just take all the resources, you chase them away, you do whatever you can to get your deserved pleasures from this new world, and whoever lives here doesn't deserve anything. Now, that theme alone has a very dark history, and being abstract, using that theme, the designer has said it's to make you think. Now, if you have problems with the theme, well, then the game is probably not for you. But I will say this, the designer has made many comments on the Board Game Geek addressing this thematic choice he has made. And it's a very interesting discussion, and mostly it's without trolls. So I suggest you check that out. But also, at the same time, there are other games that address this theme in a different way. For instance, Puerto Rico. It's a game about colonizing Puerto Rico, and there isn't any mention of the slaves at all. In this game, you have conquistadors that just comes home with gold. Where from? I don't know. Makes you think, right? Also, you have these tents here that represent the natives. It's probably the wrong tents anyway, but you just get things from them. But why? Are they just that friendly, or are you exploiting them? But then you have Puerto Rico, where you just have colonists, and they are brown pieces for some reason, but still colonists. They are avoiding the theme totally. So you have to like Google it, and oh, it's about slavery. Oh man. But this game doesn't hide it. Still, it's an abstract game with a theme about exploiting the natives and slavery. So yeah, there's that. But then you have San Juan, well, not far from Puerto Rico, right? Where the theme is totally just ignored. It's not even brown colonists, you just build. And you have plantations that just produce food, but who works there? Doesn't even mention that. You're supposed to know this. So I'm just gonna say that about the theme. But the game, that's the focus now. So if you don't like the theme, then it's probably not for you. And being a Norwegian doesn't really help the matter, because my ancestors were not exactly known for their peaceful travelings. And but it is a bit while ago. We don't do that anymore. We have learned from history, but we haven't hidden it from history. And that is what I think is great about this theme. It's not hiding it. Hiding the truth, hiding history, it's one thing we shouldn't do, in my opinion. And yeah, I just think it's the right step here in not hiding the theme. But having this theme in abstract is a totally different discussion, but please check out the forum that Christian Amundsen SB is very responsive to. But let's just check out the game, okay? On your turn you can do one thing, but you can do one thing among many actions. The most used action, or most powerful action, is to use a die. You can either choose to use your blue die, or one of the blue dice, you can get up to 3, or choose one of the white dice that are available in the common area. For instance, I can choose 4 here, and just take the dice down and activate all the buildings here, which are none. So a better example is to activate the blue one. It goes here, you have a figure, and you have buildings. The figure doesn't do anything by himself, but the buildings do. So this die will move here, does nothing, move here, get 2 coins, move here, does nothing, move here, get 1 corn and 1 conquistador. But the die will also stop there on the last building. So now this building cannot be activated again. The second thing you can do is to activate a building by using coins. You can activate this one, for instance, to get a corn and food. Or flour, or what's it called. But then, in the future, if I use a die to go past this building, I cannot get the benefit of this bonus. But the next time I activate the building, I have to use 2 coins and then 3 and so forth. But the third thing I can do is to buy a new tile. You can either buy a 3 tile, which is one of these. It costs me 2 lumber and 1 corn. Or I can buy a 2 tile, which costs 2 lumber. And it's a typo here on the first edition. I think it's fixed in the later printings. So if I had 2 lumber, which I actually had lying around here, as my action, I can spend those and buy one of the 5 available tiles here. And this I can choose to put on any 2 empty areas in any direction I want, for instance here. So in the future, if I activate this one, I get this and this and this and then this action. And the next time in the future I activate the 4, I can benefit from this building once more. And even a 3rd time, but then it stops there because it's the last building on the row. So now then, we need to focus on the main board, like this one. Because most of the action is done here. That is the action that will affect the other players around the table. So for instance, we have this round marker here. We play for 3 rounds, and depending on the number of players, we get points. So points are from the conquistadors, as you see. So every time you activate a conquistador step on your space, this one will move 1 step. So next step, and then every time you cross one of these gold bars, you just get 1 gold bar from the conquistadors. At the end of the round, you get points based on the number of players and how far ahead you are. So yellow is the farthest ahead with 4 players here. So 6 points for yellow, 4 points for red, and 2 for green, and nothing for blue. After the round is over, this will be reset. Now, difference to this is this prayer here. When you move this up and you cross here, you can get access to a monk. You immediately take one of these monk markers and place it on any of these spaces here or these spaces here. Now, these spaces will give you goods directly or points. But these 3 will get you 1 permanent bonus for the rest of the game. And these will give you an alternative end game scoring. But you cost 2 points just to have it there. Now, this is a first come, first serve service. So for each other monk that is already on the spot, you have to pay 2 gold before you can place your own there. So if you're late to the party, it costs you money. But the most important part here is also this blue thing here. If you cross this threshold, you get your 2nd blue die, you just roll it at once, and you have access to that immediately. And that is great. And this one does not reset every round. And then we have the shipping action, which is on the side here. Now you can sell, these are goods in demand. You can sell to these starting tiles like this, or this non-starting tile, it's white. And when you sell, you put the ship and the corresponding field on your player board, and you get a permanent bonus at the end of each round based on the ships you bought. And this is a very nice thing to add up, and you get basically free prayer points, free conquistador, or free money every round. It's a great thing to have. But then, when you have nothing else to do, you can pass. You take your marker here, and you choose here to get 2 coins, 1 prayer, 1 conquistador, or a new trade action, or one of these tiles here. When everybody has passed, whoever's on top is this new starting player, and we just go around the table after that, and you start a new round. So it's a very simple board. You have every information you need here, and this is the correct cost for these tiles anyway, not 1 corn and 1 lumber, but 2 lumber instead. As the game progresses, your board is getting richer and richer with stuff on it. Like your colony here is large and has a lot of features on it and a lot of actions on it, and you have made some deals or shipments which were in demand. And here I had 1 for happiness and 2 for prayer and 1 for coins. So this is a permanent income for end of each round, and this is nice to have. More points, more prayer, that gives me more monks and more dice, and of course money, which is never enough of money. But now I have lots of things to do. So for instance, I can draft one of the dice, the white dice, and they are in... You have to be first one there, because if someone takes your dice, well, you're kind of screwed, except you can always use a coin to alter the value of the dice, like this. You can pay money. But I'm going to use the 4 now, in this example. So, 4, I get a blue ruby, nothing happens there. I get 1 lumber, and I mark my conquistador 1 step. I get 1 more lumber. But for each step, for each spot here, you can only have 3 of each resource. So I have 3 lumber, and instead I can sell my lumber and get a coin for that. And all the times you can buy corn and lumber for 3 coins each, and you can also always sell one of these for 1 or one of these for 2. You cannot buy these. But these are resources that the ships often want to have. So that was one turn. I can continue to buy more spots here as long as I have the resources and it's available. And I can activate dice, I can use money to activate the buildings as well. But every time I do this, I will block up the action for future use, in this round at least. At the end of the round, we clean everything here from the board. Not this, of course, but here. And we start over the next round. And that's it. It's so super simple to get into, but you have so many options to do as well. And that's it, basically. The game is very simple to get into. The mechanics are very simple. I'm using the word simple a lot here. But that's the truth of it. It is a simple game with a lot of depth. Because when you start the game, you see, well, not so much on the board, but you can get corn, you can get food, you can get lumber and gold. But what do you want to do with it? And it's not really easy to see the flow of the game before you actually do a turn. But once you do an action, like take a die, or spend a coin, or buy one of these tiles here, then you get these aha experiences, and it comes very fast, like 1 or 2 or 3 turns, and then you're in the game. You're in the zone. So this game is very simple to explain, very simple to get into. Still, it has a lot of depth. So let's just get back to the theme. This game is abstract, as you take a die, you put it here and there and there, and you get the benefits of those action spaces. So if the theme really doesn't fit you or is distasteful to you, then this game has nothing that will change that opinion, and this game is maybe not for you. But if you can look past that, this game is a terrific game, I think. I love playing it. It is fast-paced. You do one action and then it's around the table, one action, and then it's your again. And sometimes you can get, with 4 players, it might be a bit long, but I still like it with 4, but maybe 3 is best. But the game is still so fast, and you have to pay attention to what the other players are going for, especially when it comes to these tiles here. You want to pay attention to what they can do, but not too much, because they might do things differently based on the dice available, based on their structure on their colony, and there's too much to take into account. So if you are playing with the player who is watching every board for every player at all times, this game will be slow. I'm just saying, because everything is open information except for the points that you have received on the way. So if you have those players, then I would stay away, but that is just me. Well, people have different preferences, of course. Santa Maria is yet another great game from Christian Østby, and in this case also with Eilif Svensson, who did Monrovia, and they really seem to be in the right direction. They come out with great games, easy games, and the color artwork, well, the artwork is debatable. I like it, it's cute, but then again you have the theme which isn't that cute. But the artwork says that this is a family-friendly game. Well, it's not for the youngest one, but the mechanics are simple to understand, and I think the graphics come through, and it's really nice with the colors. Everything just shines out and tells you exactly what it's going to do and how you can use it. So Santa Maria is definitely a thumbs up and seal of excellence, no doubt, and I can't wait for the expansion to come out. I think he's toying with a 5th player expansion that has a different role than these 4 here. These are kind of identical, but with the 5 player expansion, oh yeah, with just a rumor. So it's just an idea in process, so it might not happen, but if it does happen, I'm really excited for it. But Santa Maria, I hope it's getting back in print, and that you can get it, because this I really enjoy. It's a nice Euro game with a light mechanic that I can get into, and dice that you can choose from. Yeah, it's a great one. I really enjoy it for what it is. And of course, when you have played the A side for this one, you choose the B side next, and then you get variable player powers at the beginning of the game, and you get one special tile that is unique for you. So it really changed the game. But of course, the first time you play it, they won't mean anything to you, these tiles. So yeah, stick with A for the first time around. Okay, thank you so much for watching this review of Santa Maria. And I really hope you have gotten an opinion for this game, if this is something for you or not. And I hope I will see you in the future. So, that's it for now, and thank you again. See ya.
Thanks for watching our review today. For more information about board games, as well as the #1 board game audio podcast, check out Dicetower.com for reviews, interviews, and more. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower.